Hi, this is Sam Ulano demonstrating for you the various Latin rhythms as they would be applied to the set of timbales and the commercial set of drums. Many of these rhythms are discussed and applied to the band, but yet there are many problems with them. We're going to try to clear up these problems with this recording. I am sitting right now behind a complete set of drums, a snare drum, bass drum, with a 9/13 tom-tom and a 16-inch tom-tom to my right, a 20-inch ride cymbal, and a set of socks. Also in front of me is a set of timbales with a cha-cha bell and a regular mambo bell. This would be the large type of bell that is used for mambos. The cha-cha bell is a small bell of about 3 or 4 inches. They are taped up to deaden the sound and give us that muffled feeling of the bell itself. To begin, our first basic idea of all these rhythms is the clave rhythm. These are your 2 pieces of wood, rosewood or coca-cola wood, that give us a rhythm of this effect. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 2-measure phrase, falling out with 3 beats in the first measure and 2 in the second. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. The clave rhythm helps develop your swing in all your Latin rhythms, such as the bolero rumba, your mambo, double mambo, Afro-Cuban, your montunas, your calypso huaraches, and a number of the others. Now our first rhythm to work with is the cha-cha. The cha-cha is developed with 4 quarter notes in the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. The tempo is slow, and the drive of the quarter notes are played on the shell or the piler of the timbali. And it's 4 quarter notes in this effect. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the left hand playing on the 2nd and 4th beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this can be applied to a cha-cha bell in this effect with the same 4 quarter notes. 3, 4 with the left hand on the 2 and 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to apply it to your regular set of drums, for those who do not have timbales, we can play it on the side of the 16-inch tom-tom shell, giving you this type of effect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. With the left hand playing on 2 and 4 on the snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can apply it to your bell of the top of the cymbal. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And develop it into 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or on your big bell. And 4 and for the drive. 3 and 4 and or back to the shell of the timbali. 2 and 3 and 4 in that effect for those who have timbales. Now we can also develop the cha-cha with playing the left hand on the 2 and on the and of 3 and of 4 in this effect. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and with your right hand playing 4 quarter notes. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now you can get various little breaks into your cha-cha rhythm in a simple form by hitting a rim shot on the small timbali or on the big timbali. This can also be applied to the snare drum by hitting it near the edge of the rim on the snare drum. On your timbali, on the deep timbali, on your big tom-tom. Now this would fit into the rhythm in this effect. Cha-cha-da-da-da. Back on your cymbal for drive. 3 and 4 and 1, 2. That would be the cha-cha. Our next rhythm is the bolero rumba, which is very similar to the cha-cha, but with not as much drive. This is a 4-beat measure, as we have it written on our demonstration sheet that comes along with this recording. And it has 2 16ths on the first quarter note. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and on the side of the timbali shell. 1 and 3 and 4 and 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 very subtle and easy with the bass drum on the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. This can be applied for a very soft sound on the rim of your snare drum. 1 and 3 and 4, and with the left hand playing on your snare drum as a tom-tom. And 4, and or on your closed sock. And 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, or on your cowbell that's mounted on your bass drum. 3 and 4, and 1, and 3 and 4, and or on the top of your ride cymbal. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and or the shell of your bass drum. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and you can also use your cha-cha bell for this same type of effect. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and but it is not the best sound that you would want to have. Now the bolero rumba has the bass drum on the 1, 2, 3, 4. Can also be played on the 1 and the 3 of the measure, but the most common is the 1, 2, 3, 4, because you are playing the same type of rhythm that the bass player would be using, or the piano player would be playing with his left hand. The single mambo. Now this rhythm is a little faster in tempo than your bolero rumba or cha-cha. It's almost a medium fast tempo, and can be played on the side of the timbali shell in this effect. Oh, I mambo, oh, I mambo, I mambo. Or you can apply it for drive on the top of your ride cymbal. I mambo, your bass drum on the 1 and 3. Your left hand on 2 and 4, simulating the sound that a conga drummer would be doing. It would have this effect. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass drum on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing in your right hand. And 4. And this would be just a little slower type of mambo. I'm mambo. And that would give you a single mambo effect. This can be applied to a closed sock on the side of your timbales, for those who have it, on your cowbell, and you can do it on the top of your snare drum for a very soft sound with the rim, on the side of your 16-inch tom-tom. It's also very important to remember, whether you're playing on the timbales or on your set of drums, you must use the dowel stick. This is very good to be had at a 3/8 thickness and the length of about 14 or 15 inches. It would give you the right leverage. Do not use a regular drumstick for your Latin American work on the set or on the timbales. It gives you too heavy a sound and does not give you the flexibility that you would like to have to get around the instrument. The next is the double mambo. Now many think the single mambo is one tempo and that the double mambo means that you play twice as fast than your single mambo. But this is not so. Actually, it's the reverse. The single mambo is a moderate fast tempo. The double mambo is a slow tempo, almost identical to your cha-cha feel or your bolero rumba. Here is a double mambo rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, 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 oh, ah, do, dee, do, ba, do, da, da, ba, bip, bap, 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 bap. Now, there's a lot of drive in your double mambo. It can be played as 8 notes, accent to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Now, for a lot of drive, you can use 2 sticks, one in your right hand, one in your left hand, and apply it the same fashion where on your timbales you would use your fingers without a stick. Apply the same rhythm using a stick. This would sound something in this effect. 1, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and it will help your flexibility when you try to get some solos and some rhythms into your beats, such as this on the timbales. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 1, 2. On the set of drums, you can apply the small snare drum sound and your big tom-tom sound, and apply those two in the same effect that you would do your timbales. For those who do not have timbales, this effect can be done either using your snare drum or your 913 and the 16-inch in something of this effect on the double mambo. Playing the rhythm on the top of the cymbal, left hand on the snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and bass drum on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 1 and 3 with the bass drum. On your cowbell for drive. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That would be the double mambo. The Afro-Cuban. This is also very similar to the feel of your bolero rumba, except with a lot of more drive and a lot of more vitality and push behind it. And one important thing is that the last eighth note of the measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as written in the diagram that you have on this pamphlet that accompanies this record, you will notice that the last eighth note is rested. It's the last and count, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rested, and you get this type of effect with your and, 3 and 4 and accented in this effect. 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 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 1, 2 and 3 and 4. You can apply that with your left hand without a stick, 3 and 4, and just let your right hand do the rhythm, left hand and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4. On the set of drums, you can do it with a cross stick with your left hand over the drum and your right hand in this effect, with your right hand playing the last 3 accents on the large tom-tom. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And the bass drum on 1 and 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1. That would be the Afro-Cuban. Now, to discuss the endings of the cha-cha, bolero, rumba, single mambo, double mambo, and Afro-Cuban, you will notice that there is a big similarity in all of them. The cha-cha rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And coming to the ending, we have 2 measures with a 1, 3, and 1 of the second measure in this effect. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Cha-cha-cha-da-da-da-da, pop, pop, pop. Just 3 beats. On your bolero rumba, the same effect. 3 and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, dab. On the double mambo, the same effect. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. On the Afro-Cuban, the same effect. 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's your effect. On the single mambo, the same rhythm effect. 1, 2, 3, pa pa da pa pa da 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 pa pa pa. Now, of course, if you're playing with a band that has written arrangements, that would be governed by what the arranger writes. He is the one who's going to govern how the ending would be. But if you're playing with a 2 or 3 or 4 piece or 5 piece unit at a club date, in a small club, or at any type of a dance that you might be working at, you'll find that most of the faking type of music that's done in this Latin American effect is done in the 3-beat ending. Now, of course, you might also embellish your ending a little bit. Sometimes you may have a vocalist who is singing. You can play background for her on the side of the timbali shell for a singer, whether it's cha-cha, double bolero, double mambo, single mambo, Afro-Cuban on the side of the shell for the vocalist. The piano chorus also on the side of the shell, or the rim of the snare drum, the same type of beat. The effect is the same for guitar, the accordion. Also, if the trumpet player is playing with a mute, you can play the effect on a very soft sound on the shell or the pilot sound. Of course, if there's a drive in which you're trying to get a bigger sound where you might have a large band with a sax section or brass section, you can let out a lot more by playing the same rhythms on the ride cymbal. And the ending can be embellished by doing a fill-in, something on this effect. I mambo, I mambo, I mambo, bop, bop, bop. Give you a big ending of that effect. Or you might roll the ending and end it with a little rim shot on that effect. But this is also governed by the type of arrangement you are working with. So that is your various endings and how they can be applied to the band when you're playing with a small unit, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 men. Must remember that if you are faking, these are the type of things that you can apply to your timbalis and your set of drums. Side 2, Latin rhythms. The samba. The samba is a rhythm that is played with a stick in the right hand and the brush in the left hand. The brush is playing on the 2 and 4 count. 1, 3, 1, 3. 3, 4. Or if it's counted in cut time on the and count, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. The right hand is played with a definite accent on the second beat with the stick. This beat is applied to the snare drum of the set. The bass drum is played on the 1, 2, 1, 2. We develop the rhythm in this fashion. I samba, I samba, ba 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 ba. Now this is a Brazilian effect from the Brazilian samba, and of course is originally done with a tambourine, as it would be done in the authentic manner. But we, who are playing with 2 or 3 or 4 musicians, cannot take time out to play on a tambourine with our hands. So we simulate the rhythm with a stick and a brush. Now you can add your 16-inch tom-tom on the 2 count in this effect. Apply a little samba solo using the 9/13 tom-tom, the snare drum with the brush in the left hand and the stick in the right hand, and the large tom-tom which is on our right side in this fashion, doing a samba solo. Or the cowbell. The merengue. The merengue is a beat that is being confused with the samba. They are both different. The samba has an accent on the second beat, and the merengue has 4/8 notes in the second measure on the 3 and 4 end, 3 and 4 end, 3 and 4 end, 3 and 4 end. We get our effect in the merengue in 2 measures. The first measure is 1, 2, 1, 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I merengue, I merengue, I merengue, I. Now you can do a little roll on the 3 and 4. I merengue, I merengue, I merengue. The samba has a forward and backward motion. Forward and back. The merengue has a side motion. When the dancers do it, they move from side to side. Now you can play the bass drum and the sock cymbal simultaneously on the 1 and the 2 count. That would give you the side motion. Now you can reverse the beat by playing the 4/8 notes in the first measure in this effect. Applying it to your timbalis, you play the 4/8 notes on the large timbali, the deep sound, and do the rest of the beat on the small timbali. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Or you can reverse the beat by putting the 4/8 notes into the first measure on the 3 and 4 end. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be the merengue. They are different. The samba, the merengue. There is a difference. If you listen closely, you will hear it, and you can get the feel. The tango. Now, there are 2 types of tango. There is a Spanish tango and the Argentine tango. The Argentine tango is in 4/4 time, where the Spanish tango is in 4/8 time or 2/4 time. Now, in the Argentina tango, which is the one that is most commonly used amongst commercial musicians, we have an accent on the last and count of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. The rest of the beat would sound this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And the bass drum and the sock play together on all 4 beats. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, accent. Now you do not accent at the end of the roll. 2, 3, 4, and 1. The bottom of the roll, which would be the last part of it, dies away or fades away. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Usually you play your tango on the snare drum, unless it's written in an arrangement in which the arranger specifically states he wants a tom-tom effect. Otherwise, you use the snare drum with the snares on, giving you this effect. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now you can play your right hand on the large tom-tom and your left hand on the snare drum. It'll give you a little more depth into the beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. This is not played on the timbalis. This is played on your snare drum on the commercial set of drums. The montuno. The montuno is not a dance. It is a Latin American jazz chorus, or a Latin American ad-lib. By that I mean we will take a melody of a special arrangement, and then after the melody of the first chorus is played, the musicians, such as the trumpet player, the vocalist, piano, maybe electric guitar, will play a takeoff chorus on the melody or the montuna. We in American jazz call this a ride or a hot chorus. In Latin, it's known as the montuna. Now, you can find a montuna in a cha-cha, in a bolero rumba, in a single mambo, double mambo, in almost all your dances. This is a takeoff chorus, usually following the opening melody chorus. And it would have the effect on something in this manner. Played on the timbali. Drive the beat. Or the change on the montuna time. And here the drummer can fill in a little bit behind the rhythm or the melody instrument who is taking the solo. Then you try the beat. Now you use the same type of beats that you would use for your single, double, mambo, your cha-cha, or any one of the dances, except you add more drive to them and you do them on the ride cymbal. In American jazz music, you might play your opening chorus on the sock cymbal. And then when the jazz musician starts to take his ride chorus, which might be a solo on the melody, you would apply it to your ride cymbal for drive. That would be the same or the identical idea as happening in Latin American rhythm. We play the montuna, which is the jazz or ad-lib chorus. The calypso. This is a type of dance that is coming into quite a bit of popularity, and it comes from Trinidad. It has the feeling of an Afro-Cuban, but it is just a little different in the effect that the fourth beat is accented. There's a lot of freedom in the calypso. You can make up many rhythms using your 9 tom-tom and your big tom-tom, your snare drum. The huaracha is a little faster dance, such as you might have in cumbanchero or dances of that type. Usually, to get a lot of drive on the huaracha, you would play it on your cowbell or on the side of the timbalis for a vocalist or for a quartet or any group of singers that you might have working in the band, or the entire band might get up and sing. You drive the beat with the cowbell. Da 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 ba ba da ba ba da ba 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 da da ba 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 on the cymbal. This can be applied to fast tempos on a shell. The bass drum on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. To close the idea on all your Latin American dances, the clave once again is the important beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to play the clave beat on the side of the shell of the timbali, and then develop a rhythm into that clave beat. Now, one of the most important ways of staying in rhythm and swinging is to remember that the clave beat is in 2 measures, 3 beats in the first measure, and 2 in the second. Now, whenever doing your rhythm, if you can accomplish the fact of getting the last 2 beats in the second measure to come out in your rhythm, you will always swing. The clave beat. The left hand added to the clave beat. The rhythm. That big. Clave da 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 gag 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 clave beat. 1, 2, 4, 1, and 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. You hear the second part. 1, 2, bada bada. The endings for the samba, the merengue, the mantunas, which do not have an ending, they are part of the arrangement. The calypso and the huaracha are almost all identical, also according to the arrangement that you might have. In the samba, you would end with 3 beats. The merengue, you can end with 3 beats. The mantuna, as we said, is part of the arrangement. The calypso can end with 3 beats. The huaracha, the same effect. Or whatever the arrangement might be, you would apply it to the band as the arranger wants. Now we have set up these rhythms, the samba, merengue, cha-cha, tango, double mambo, sambas, and all the others in a fashion so that you can understand how to apply them to your timbales and the set of drums. Hoping that you can follow along also with the pamphlet that comes with this recording and understand the beats as they are written. Many times you will find them that way on the arrangement that the arranger might write or on your stock orchestrations that you can buy in most any store. Learn these beats, study them, get them under control, and try to apply them after you know in your mind just how you can get the sound out of the set. Then and only then, apply them to the band, and I'm pretty sure you will find that they will swing a lot more and will help you on the road to playing your Latin rhythms a lot clearer and driving the band a lot more in this very wonderful style of drumming. Thank you very much.